My wife turned against our 16-year-old son. When his ex claimed she was pregnant, she called him a liar, said I was delusional for taking his side, and our family fell apart. I moved out to protect him, and he confessed he might be gay. But when the DNA test finally came back, it proved he wasn't the father. And now my wife can't even look at herself in the mirror. Our son, just turned 16, had a girlfriend. She's 16, almost 17. But they broke up about a month ago. About 3 weeks ago, we were informed by her parents that she is pregnant. She is slightly showing. The dates line up with my son's relationship. My wife and I went into full panic mode. We waited a couple days before telling our son, who didn't know. He immediately said, "It's not mine. I never fucked her." I didn't believe him as I know he is active. He did the sensible thing and asked me for protection. However, he kept on saying they never did it. He said he cheated on her. I had a heart-to-heart with him, and he is an absolute shithead, but I began to believe him. He said he always raps and he has asked for restocks. My wife, on the other hand, still didn't believe him. Both families met. My wife started the conversation just accepting that our son is the father and was trying to figure out a solution, funding, etc. My son spoke up saying it's not his baby as they never had sex. He was genuinely angry. Then he made a comment that I'm going to rephrase. Apparently they only ever did a certain act which can't result in a baby, and it was unsatisfactory, so he never went any further with her. An absolute shithead, and we raged at him over it. His ex-girlfriend admits they rarely did it but explained the event, the when and where. And I will say it was believable too. I know he's a complete liar. I know he is an absolute dog, but I believe him still. My wife, however, is angry with me for playing into his nonsense. She said I'm part of the boy culture. She said children born to teen parents are more likely to be teen parents, and we were both 17 when my wife got pregnant. She said I'm worsening the situation by not living in reality, and she is left to figure out what to do on her own. To her point, I am hands-off on further meetings with the other family. I don't believe we should have those discussions until it's proven he's the dad. AITAH. Also, this is really ranty. I'm sorry, but I needed to leave off some steam. Just to add, her parents don't want to do a paternity test until after the child is born. They said it could harm the baby, but apparently it's harmless, so I don't know. So we cannot get a test done before then. Courts can't order one till birth. Another addition, I'm in the UK. Update 1. Update ATA for not siding with my wife over our son's ex-girlfriend's pregnancy. I didn't think I'd be coming back so soon, and this is probably more suited to an advice sub rather than an AH sub. Cursing, sexual references, etc. Short story. Text message that backs up her story. Another meeting. Went worse than the first. He's not coming home. Mother-son relationship F-ed. And husband-wife relationship F-ed. His ex has text messages to a friend around the time in which she discussed my son's large with a mark organ and the type of sex they had. The messages align with what she says and go beyond the oral that he had said. My wife gloated, but anyway, my wife invited them over without my knowledge. It was carnage. She, our son and I were sitting on one side of the table. He told his mom that she should sit on the other side and he wouldn't start a conversation until she moved over. She eventually did. Our son was very quiet at the beginning. He admitted he has the mark and is large, something I never needed to know. But he maintained it was just oral. He started winking at his ex's mother. When she asked why he was winking at her, he said, "Your husband is gayer than Philip Schofield, so I'm sure you'd like a go on my large." He turns to his ex's dad, says, "Philip, his name is not Philip. It's not for you," followed by a gay slur. I was speechless at it all. My wife said to my son to stop denying it. My wife started planning again. I said I'd still want DNA, preferably now, but immediately at birth. They stuck to birth. My son spoke up. He said that this is not how this is going to work. He told them that they get the test done now, or he will refuse to get tested until he's finished college. So 6 years time approx. He said courts won't expect maintenance from a kid. And in that time, the SLet who gave birth to him, my wife, will have spent so much money and will love a kid that is unrelated to her. He said hopefully that spirals the SLT into a very dark place. They said they'd just court order it. He said a court cannot force him. Some autonomy thing. He seemed confident, and turns out he's right. He was walking out, and his mother grabbed his arm to come back in. He said, "Get your dirty hand off me, you slut." He said he'd fight back if she didn't let go. I told her to let him go. He said he was staying at a friend's. He's been staying there a bit. I went out and said I'd drive him. He agreed. In the car journey, he said he knows I don't believe him anymore, but he didn't fit her. He said school is horrible, social media is horrible, and your wife, he didn't call her mum, is a bitch. I said you can't speak about your mum like that. He said she's a woman that gave birth to him and minded him, that's all. He said she doesn't care how he is coping, she's never even asked. When we got to his friends, he cried a bit. He said it's nothing to do with me, but he won't be home much anymore. He said hopefully I'd still hang out with him. I know his friend's father from the pub. He started talking to me. I was gonna give him money because my son is over there a lot, but he refused. He said my son told him everything. He's a counselor. He said girls can exaggerate to friends, boys can lie. He said he knows my son since he was tiny, and he believes him. He also said he might have more information than I do. No idea? He warned that we are going to lose him if we are not careful. I went home. I told my wife if she so much as says one word to me or our son about the baby without a test being done, we are over. If she doesn't apologize to our son in the next few days and beg him for forgiveness, we are done. I, sadly, do mean it. It wasn't heat of the moment. By her reaction, I think we are done. I do love her, childhood sweethearts. But my son is my son. It is not a matter of believing him. I probably don't. It's a matter of being there for him. He was always a shithead, but his behavior is erratic and almost asking for help. It's worrying how quickly he has changed. He is the priority for me right now, counseling and plenty of it. Update 2, October 6th, 2025. 1 month later from the last update. My wife and I separated, but we are on good terms. I think she understands why I moved out, but we still want to deal with the situation differently. I'm living in a flat with my son. He seems happier. The good news? His ex's parents last Thursday agreed to do a paternity test. That is booked for this Wednesday. I don't know what brought on this sudden change. I told my son they had agreed. He asked to meet his ex and her parents to apologize. He thanked and apologized to his ex's parents for what he said. They were very good to accept the apology, although I do think he deserved an apology too. He said to his ex that he's not starting anything, but that they both know it's not his. She still insisted it's his. I asked if maybe he wanted to apologize to his mother, or at least have a discussion with her. He said he won't apologize to her and he won't forgive her, even if she apologizes to him. He said he hates her and always will. That's still an utter mess. He won't speak to her. If she visits our flat, he leaves. Saturday night, I told him I won't be angry if he has been lying, but if he is, I'd prefer him to be honest rather than find out by the test. He again said it's not his. Quickly after that, he asked me to promise I wouldn't get mad if he told the truth. He said he doesn't want labels, but the reason it went no further with his ex is because he can't stay up with girls, and he uses the condoms but not with girls. I couldn't respond as he went to bed. I told him Sunday morning I'm fine with him whatever he is. Admittedly, it was a surprise. I did ask about the Philip Schofield comment he made against his ex's dad, and he said nothing like that ever happened. He said it's a guy his own age. I didn't push it any more than that. He wants it kept quiet, so here I am as I can't tell others, but it'd be a shock at this point if it's his. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Well, there's a turn. Bet you weren't expecting him to be having sex with a guy, haha, but there's no way a kid his age just makes that up to slip out of their responsibilities. I'm so pleased you've stood so firmly with your son. Your wife, ex, continues to be bizarre. I do think it odd that you and son are leaving the family home and not her. OOP. It's my mate's flat. I had hoped it'd be a short stay and I thought our son might be better off not in our home. Just a break. I don't know if it's offensive to say he doesn't come across gay, but he doesn't. So it was a surprise. That's not me saying he's lying. He's not making that up. Commenter duh. Well, that's definitely a surprise. Good on you for siding with your son. NTA. Oop. It's a shock to be honest, but the way the last 2 months or so have gone, it's not much of a big deal right now. I don't care if he's gay. I'm gonna need a holiday after all this though. OOP getting his son and family in counseling/therapy. OOP. Counseling has a long waiting list. He is on the list. In the meantime, I've made him speak to this org I was told about. It's like a helpline, but it's manned by student psychologists and similar. It's not therapy. It's just someone to speak to. He will still need counseling, and I think he'd probably welcome it. Commenter Troy. Maybe that is way the counselor told you that he believed your son and that he knows more than you? OOP, that's good thinking, but that comment was about how badly my son was coping with the situation. He told that man he wanted others to suffer in the way he was and stuff. OOP on being there for his son while the son figures things out on his sexual orientation. OOP, yeah, he asked no labels so I won't. He's clearly still dealing with it himself. Whatever he is, I'm okay with it, is my approach. OOP clarifies the details on his son being harassed at school. Was it over the pregnancy or his sexual orientation? OOP, the abuse was over the pregnancy. No one knows about his sexuality. Commenter 4. With the comments he made about your wife in the previous post, have you asked your son what he means by his comments on her? His anger at her seems to go beyond just not taking up for him. Did he catch her cheating? Or does he doubt his own paternity? Like he thinks, maybe she is believing the girl because she got away with paternity fraud or cheating too. OOP, he's my kid. My own mother tested us without our knowledge, and he's the spitting image of me. They had always a pretty good relationship. I think what killed him is, he was getting shit in school. He was getting shit from his ex, and he feels his mother didn't care about it. That's what he said to me. But that's a counselor's job to really delve into. Commenter 5. This is a horribly messy situation. Does your wife still believe your son is lying? Was the mother-son relationship already on the rocks before this happened? I mean, the way your son talks about his mother is appalling. I know teenagers are dramatic, but this seems extreme. His reaction to your wife's behavior speaks of a lot of unsolved grievances. OOP. They had a good relationship. A bit of a mama's boy, but he was always wild. She does still believe he's lying. She is still, from what I know, planning for her grandchild. She is unaware of the gay part. Not my thing to tell. OOP responds to a downvoted comment regarding trashing his wife and their history together. OOP, first off, I love my wife and she is my best friend. I hate how she has behaved during this, and I'm sure she'd say the same about me, but she still is my best friend. Was our son a surprise? Yes. Did I ever feel trapped? Scared? Yes. It probably has brought up stuff from herself and perhaps projection a little. If it was scary for me, it must have been extremely scary for her carrying our baby, etc. The goal for me is to mend our son's relationship with his mom. She and I believe will be okay. What happens if the baby turns out to be OP's son's kid? OOP, if it turns out to be his, he will have to step up and take responsibility. He will have to a lot of bridge building. I'd be very annoyed that he lied, but I don't think I'd regret how I dealt with it. How far is the ex-girlfriend's pregnancy? OOP, she's around 20 to 21 weeks. Apparently, she always had a bit of a tummy. I don't pay much attention, so maybe I'm wrong, and she wasn't showing then, although I think she was. The test is done now, so we all have to do is wait. Editor's note. OOP made a separate updating post on the AITAH sub, but it was removed. He reinstalled the same update onto his own profile. I am adding comments from the removed post for more context. Again, OOP has made lots of responses. I am posting top common questions and responses. Update 3 October 11th, 2025, 5 days later. He lied. Ada for not siding with my wife over our son's ex-girlfriend's pregnancy. Ada said I broke their rules. Too many updates. So I'll post it here. The person I messaged to apologize to at AITAH was very nice and kind. Spent the 800 quid on the test last Wednesday. He didn't seem nervous. He seemed happy. All went well. Thursday morning I woke up he wasn't there. Had text me he needed a break for a few days. Wife rang that his ex was gone. Same message. I text and rang him over and over. Eventually he video called me. His ex was there too. He said he lied about it all and that the test will probably show it's his. He told me where they are staying and they apparently want to talk about it without adults getting involved. I was wrong. He lied. My wife was humble, given everything. Her parents and my wife think it might be a good thing to let them talk. They are staying in touch. I don't see the benefit in them on their own. Nuts in my opinion. But I'm so mad, maybe it is for the best. I'm done. Also, I don't think I can respond here. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. He lied. He ruined your marriage with your wife. He said those gross misogynistic things to your wife, his own mother, convinced you he wasn't the father and that he and his ex never had sex. And all comes to all, he lied about the entire thing and the baby is probably his. I feel so sorry for your wife. OOP. I ruined my marriage, and I let him away with a lot because I believed he was a cornered animal. Commenter do. Equating getting his girlfriend pregnant with being like a cornered animal is disgusting. No wonder he behaved like this if that is your attitude. OOP. I didn't equate such things. I believed he was telling the truth, and I thought he acted out because people were against him. I was clearly wrong to believe him. Downvoted commenter. Just remember, you love your son, no matter the outcome. I was truly rooting for him, but kids are dumb, and you standing by your son was still the right move, IMO. OOP, I'll always love him, but I'm not really liking him at the moment. Commenter Trois. Have you started the apology tour starting with your wife? I understand you defending your son, but he was pretty ugly and rude to a lot of people. OOP, I apologize to my wife. She was far more graceful than I deserved. Commenter 4. Actually, I'm kind of curious about if the DNA test does show it's his, because while he says it very likely will, what if it doesn't? But I'm also a sucker for drama. OOP, I'm not so keen on the drama. Results are meant to be Monday to Wednesday, but they said there may be a backlog, so it could be longer. Very clear how that will turn out. Commenter 5. So is it confirmed that the kid is his then? Honestly, part of me hopes it isn't. Your kid blew up everyone's lives and caused a bunch of drama. He needs better parenting before he becomes a parent. Yes, I know he is 16, but clearly he didn't see you or your wife as an option to confide in. Either way, there was some part of the adulting that he missed out on. OOP, confirmed by him, and yeah, I fucked up with him. OOP responds on the concerns regarding whether the pregnant partner is in danger and the adults know her current location. Is she safe? OOP, I don't particularly like it either. Her parents and my wife see it as a positive first step by him, and after the mess I've took part in, maybe they know best. They both seem happy on the video call I had, which is weird. I apologized to his ex. She said I was being loyal to my son, which for her age is pretty mature. My son said they wanted to plan how much they'll need, etc. They may have her location. I did call them to say that they were together. They said they knew, and they said they think it's beneficial. They had apparently spoke to both of them too, and my son apologized again and said he wants to make things right and he'll figure out a way to do so. They seem to believe that, whereas I did not. Still won't answer his mother though. Update 4. October 17th, 2025, 6 days later. My son came home Monday evening and had a run-in with his mother immediately. Same language apparently. I was at work. He went to his friend's house. Later that evening, my wife and I got a few messages. My son was back on social media and had come out with his boyfriend. Wednesday, her parents got the DNA results. They had agreed to not open the email without us. My son hugged his ex and they were acting very close, very friendly. It annoyed me so much seeing them that close. I couldn't explain why. Turns out, he is not the father. He said to his mom that every parent was a parent apart from her. He said he could have done something stupid. It was more graphic, but a permanent end. And she'd not give a shit. She'd probably cheer it. Questions turned to who the real father is. My son said the baby is gone, so the actual father does not matter. I had to stand between my son and her dad. I told my son to leave and he took his ex with him. I went home and they were together on the couch, cuddled up. I was fucking angry. So angry. I spoke to him privately and he went back to his old story. He didn't fuck her. He couldn't get up, etc. He said the abortion was the right thing to do for reasons. Apparently, it was her idea. She got 2 doctor signatures or something to get the procedure before he got involved. I don't know. She admitted it to me, as did their texts over the past nearly 2 weeks. She seemed to ask for his help in exchange for the DNA test. That was obviously the reason for their getaway. She went home. No idea what that's going to be like for her. Poor girl. He's insistent he won't speak to his mom. I could talk about he said, she said, and give a lot more detail, but I'm fucking drained from it. I don't think it's even registered. I've booked a holiday and need a break from it all. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. There goes everyone telling you that you're a bad father. You believed your kid, and it turns out the baby was not his. He may have admitted to it, but maybe it was through anxiety and his ex's persuasion. In the end, he was telling the truth that the baby was not his. Give yourself, your son and wife time and space to heal. I hope the best for y'all. Go take a good vacation. OOP. He said he only said it was his so that we'd leave them alone for her thing. The texts are there over the last 10 days or so. He wouldn't show me one text. I assume it's something to do with the father from the context. He said he'll take it to the grave. Commenter 2. That explains all his anger and sudden change to act like he could be the father. You shouldn't concern yourself with the poor girl thoughts because she was the one that didn't show any concern for your family when her lies dropped a nuke on it. OOP. I've known the girl for a year and a half, and perhaps it never came across here, but she was like a member of the extended family the amount of times she was over. We've sat down to many dinners together. A good kid can do a bad thing, and a bad kid can do a good thing. We, the adults, were the problem. OOP's wife's reaction to the DNA test. OOP. Hearing the result, she started crying. When he mentioned that she'd cheer on him ending himself, she said she wouldn't and she didn't know he was feeling that way. He said she didn't want to know because she didn't care to ever ask. She's attempted to talk to him but he will not listen to her. I love my wife. We will be fine, hopefully. OOP on why his son hating the wife, mother. How are the parents planning to punish the son? OOP. I understand what he said wasn't right. And I did tell him, and he needs to let it go. But given all the facts, I'm not surprised. Maybe the apple didn't fall far from the tree, but he's stitched up for fatherhood, bullied in school and social media. His mother went against him. I love my wife and it was a difficult situation. I didn't believe him either. No one was willing to get the DNA and they spoke about his bits. He's more or less a minor. I'm surprised he'd help his ex at all. He does need counseling though, to discuss things in a better way going forward. He says he was being bullied in school and social media. People turned their backs on him. He was being stitched up for something, and his mother sided with them. Didn't give him a chance. Didn't even ask him how he was, but she'd ask his ex how she was all the time. That's why he hates her according to him. He'll have to settle down. You're right. Commenter 3. Take this as proof that he's a better man that you and your wife have given him credit for. If I were in his shoes and my ex's lies played a part in destroying my relationship with my family, I don't think I could put my feelings aside to help her, and he took more heat just to help her, admitting to a lie just so she'd have the chance to get the abortion. His issues with his mother aside, he's obviously a good person at heart. OOP? Yeah, I suppose there's good in there. He said to me he hates that he loves his ex but can't love her. It was the way he said it that was kind of sad to hear. I think for him, he understands why she lied. He can understand why her parents took her side. He can't understand why his mom didn't take his. Commenter 4. You probably deserve a long break with your wife, somewhere nice. And why not right now? It's probably the best time to focus on your wife and let them sort it out. The numbers of lies flying around in that saga was quite something. BTW. Are you sure she really got an abortion? I thought you mentioned she was already showing in your first post. And where you are, the abortion limit is 12 weeks, where she would have barely started to show. And I'd suggest you check his phone to get to the bottom of it. At the very least, check your phone company for his phone records and see who he was in contact with. New unknown numbers could be his boyfriend or could be the father. Who knows? OOP. What I'm told by both of them is the abortion next door is 24 weeks, and it's legal to travel for that as long as you get 2 doctor signatures. She was within the 24 weeks, but not the 12. What story she came up with to get the 2 doctor signature, I don't know. My son said the procedure was disgusting. Commenter 4. I think over 12 weeks, it would only be possible if the pregnancy present a significant risk to her physical or mental health, hence the need for 2 doctors' assessment. It's possible she wanted an abortion from the beginning, but her pro-life parents would never have let her. No idea what her mindset was, but she managed to convince 2 doctors of her need. An advanced pregnancy termination would have involved quite a disturbing surgical procedure indeed. OOP. Yeah. Honestly, I haven't looked it up. I took them at their word and their messages. If a baby is still there, it's got nothing to do with me, but I'd imagine it's gone however it happened. Not to get graphic, but when they got back to the hotel, he said he went on Monsters, the drink, because he thought she might die or something, but he said she was fine. Commenter 5. Well, I didn't like your son. I still think he's a jerk. Damn the downvotes. But I could see this one coming. But what's the point? Why did he lie and she agreed? It didn't make any sense to me. Edit to the comment. Okay, I reread it and understood a little more. I admit, your child was right, and the abortion was the best. I've thought that from the beginning. Sincerely, I still wonder how much of a solution this family has. His boyfriend is the son of the mentioned bar friend, I assume. Is he living there? Are you and your wife okay now? How is she doing? OOP. My son is living with me. His boyfriend is his friend's cousin. He lied at the end that it was his so they could get the abortion done without us getting involved apparently. Everything up to that point he was telling the truth. My wife and I are still living separately, but we are fine, hopefully. She's a mess. I don't mean that in a bad way, but she is, unfortunately. Commenter 6. Well, I've criticized you a lot in other posts, but I'm serious when I say I'm glad things might work out. I've also criticized your wife and son, but I hope things work out between them. I don't know if she's still upset, but I see your son is angry. One question, were they always rivals like that, in the sense of fighting and disagreeing a lot, or did they have a relatively normal relationship? I'm asking because I remember your mother didn't like your wife. I think I saw it in one of your comments, and she even took a secret DNA test, so I wanted to know if her relationship with the rest of the family is tense. OOP. I was always the third wheel. That may be a slight exaggeration, but they were always really close. Best friends. It wasn't competitive. I think that's why the betrayal, in his eyes, feels worse.